Yaps. It's in the name. So in Serbia, there is a wild protest going on. I mean, insanely large, insane in the membrane. And you probably first heard about it through Asmongold's video, where one of his Twitch mods is out there protesting.
Because I never heard anything about this. I didn't see anything about this. Yeah, no, we actually do have, because one of our main mods is from Serbia, and he's not here today because he's busy. This is insane. So 800,000 people? Oh my fucking god. Holy shit. Look at all these people. So how many people are out there, you think? A fuck ton. It's a lot.
Insane. So why don't we dig a little deeper and figure out what the hell is actually going on? Because apparently the government is using sonic cannons. Why is the government always going to come and shoot something at these protesters, whether it be with water guns, now air guns? This is actually insane.
Thousands of protesters to potentially hundreds of thousands of protesters march to the streets against their government by blocking their universities.
So we gathered here to support the students.
Wow.
Who've been blockading their universities for quite a long time. This is probably one of the
Look at this. This is like pack to pack, shoulders, people in the streets. This is insane.
largest protests Serbia has ever seen. We just needed to wait for the right moment, and right now.
And if for a little context, I don't know if it'll be in this video or not, if Decoy is going to bring this up, but there's a train station where the government renovated, they were promoting it, and one of the canopies collapsed, and it just seemingly just through pure negligence on the government side, where it caused like 15 people to die. And this has been the way that the city, the students, the civilians have responded, and it's honestly it's inspiring and respectable, because it's not, you'll notice that there's no fires. This isn't looking like downtown Chicago during the Floyd incidents where everything was burning and on fire. People are have lights on. People are allowing people to still go to the universities even if they want. Granted, there won't be any class because I think everyone's out in the streets.
Everything smells like change.
Until 11 minutes into a 15-minute moment of silence, they reported getting hit.
And the 15 minutes of silence is in honor of those 15 people who lost their lives to the canopy dropping on them. And this is from a railway station where public transport, that was like the main way to get around.
By a sonic cannon.
Did you hear that? Wow. You could hear it winding up. It almost sounds like a jet taking off.
Now, one Redditor
reported down the middle. It felt like a semi-truck going full speed at you and mixed with an airplane flying right above your head. Completely unexpected given the protests are 100% peaceful, at least from the protester side. It also was during the 15 minutes of silence in honor of the 15 people that tragically died because of the government corruption.
It felt like a semi-truck coming in at full speed, mixed with an airplane right over your head, as it was more of a shockwave than a sonic boom, but went straight through your body into your organs, extremely disorienting and uncomfortable. Now, it's hard to verify any of this, so we just gotta do our best to cross-reference anecdotes and video evidence to try to find the truth. As the German publication Deutsche Welle reported on the unexplained noise that startled the protest, where an independent outlet stated it was an acoustic weapon or sonic cannon, which is part of the Serbian security services arsenal, while the local police denied its use, stating it would have not been in accordance to the law.
Of course they're going to deny it,
as several angles show the police retreating right before the protesters began fleeing.
Interesting.
Now, I'm not going to make any
I don't think that's a coincidence.
definitive statements on what I think of these protests, as obviously I don't speak Serbian and rely entirely on the official outlet's translation on what they're saying and Reddit replies, as anybody can make up
Legit sources, very good sources.
stories or add subtitles to another language to completely change the context of anything. But what we do know is these protests have been going on for a while, as they were originally angry at the government's response to the railway station collapse that ended the lives of 15. And that's all I can pretty much confirm on the outside in, as the students seem angry at their president that I can't even pronounce his name correctly.
One thing that's really nice to see out of this protest, I shouldn't say really nice to see, but the students are saying, yo, we want the politicians to go to jail. And I think that I say that's inspiring because we need the same thing over here. You got to find the root of the problem. The people who caused, and I'm just going to bring America into this, America to decline, really the swamp, all of the stuff that has led to this corruption. Find the people who are responsible for it and put them in jail and make an example out of them. That is how you get that. You snip it right in the butt.
I believe it's Alexander Vucic, and correct me in the comments if you know how to say it, but from what I can tell, he has a long history of support from the Soros family, so take that information however you like. As Reuters reports,
I think anybody dealing with the Soros family, no good. That is not a good family.
It's on the rallies, stating there have been months of these protests where their government denies accusations of incompetence, but says Western intelligence agencies are backing the push to destabilize them. And it is interesting to see protesters waving the flags from not Serbia were quickly shut down from joining the protest.
Yeah, they said none of that shit. We're here for one mission. We're not allowing any other ideologies to come in here and co-opt this. I think that's what's more the fact that the people of Serbia are this united over this. Just it's impressive. Truly.
So I believe it's a mix of everything. Students banding together to protest their government, outside forces trying to infiltrate their group to push their own agenda, and probably a local police force using the LRAD against their own citizens. As I also saw posts online of people saying it was actually a flashbang that scared the protesters, and as these are just random anonymous accounts, they have about as much credibility
we didn't see any flashbangs go off
as that original Reddit reply. Except I haven't seen any footage of the flashbang, and from the evidence we did see, it seemed consistent with the LRAD. As this sounds like sci-fi, but the long-range acoustic device was developed back in the 2000s, and was actually used in America 4 years ago.
It's actually called the LRAD device, and earlier today, police demonstrated the device for members of the press.
Of course we did.
They say it is primarily a communication tool, but the warning tone can be used to defend themselves in immediate safety.
Yeah, a communication tool to get the hell out of here.
Situations.
You think you're gonna protest? Nope.
And last night, police say they deployed it twice when lasers were pointed at the LRAD truck driver and rocks and bottles were thrown at the truck. Police acknowledge it can be dangerous, but not, they say, when it's used correctly.
And there have been cases around the country.
Yeah, but how many times have we seen police? You could say the same thing about like so many other things. And how many times have we seen those things be used incorrectly that result in like death?
We've heard reports that other police agencies have used it in ways that potentially have caused hearing damage.
Which is terrifying when you think of the active denial system, where a Joe Rogan guest, and I'm not sure of his name, explained how scary it is.
In the military called the active denial system. They can send a beam at a crowd coming to attack and...
I don't know if we want to take Billy here. I don't know if this one's the best source. If you know, you know.
Make them stop still right in their tracks. They can make you feel like you're on fire, make you feel like you want to vomit. They can even put voices in your head. They can make you be in extreme pain. It's called the active denial system.
And honestly, I think this is just the tip of the iceberg in terms of what new horrifying weapons exist in 2025.
I do believe in that. And that the active denial, I thought that of the Havana syndrome. Isn't that the thing where like people were sporadically hearing like voices in their head, feeling like they were going to throw up, feeling like their bodies were on fire? Like, go look up that. That's a fun one to look up.
So if the authorities are willing to scramble your insides after a few months, I'd be terrified to think of what they'd do after a year. So hopefully Serbia can find a resolution that satisfies their citizens before this gets any spicier.
Now, as I alluded to in the video itself, I think the Serbian people, the students that are doing this protest, are holding this protest, organizing this protest, I think they have a lot of strong, I don't know, energies, forces behind it. The fact that they're not allowing other ideologies to come in and co-opt their protest, their fight, their mission. The fact that they're saying, hey, the ones who are actually responsible for this government corruption of not following things through, taking money out, leaking money, all of this stuff, we want you to be put in jail. And I think that is such a good thing. You can't just slap a fine on these people, right? Because then arbitrarily it's just a fine. They already make enough money. They're not in it for the money. They want the power. So that money is a fine. You have to take away their power, their money, everything that they can. They're like Avatar: The Last Airbender did to the Fire Lord, where he took away his ability to bend. You got to take their ability away to govern and have power. And I think that's how you nip a lot of this stuff in the butt. But if you guys are picking up what I'm putting down, like the video. If you guys made it to this point, I have one challenge for you. Make somebody laugh today, because there's enough craziness going on in the world that can make your hair turn gray, can make you want to pull your hair out. And if the flu and negativity, or excuse me, if sadness and negativity are just as contagious as the flu, let's spread happiness and positivity by making somebody laugh. And now with that said, I'm going to go take some NyQuil and go to bed, because your boy's feeling rough.